DC motor interface with LPC1768. So you can see that details of DC motor. So 3 pins you have to configure as output. Port 428 pin, port 429 pin. So because DC motor has only two ends, two windings, so you have to connect one to logic high and another to ground. So another is port 228 pin, which is used for enable. So that should be always one. So let us go to the program. So here we have uh, two windings. So this is the details. Okay, LPC1768 port 2.4 to 28 pin and port 4 29 pin. 28 and 29 pin of port 4 should be configured as output, and port 2 8 pin you have to configure as output. Okay, two possibilities are there. Okay, so you can connect. This is assume that this is port 4.28 and this is 4.29. So you can connect plus here, minus here, and opposite is here you reverse the battery. This here negative, this is positive. So in one combination it will rotate clockwise. If you change the polarity of this, it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. If you see the truth table, for step DC motor to rotate, always enable pin should be 1. If enable pin is what? Port to 8th pin. Okay, port to 8th pin. Actually here it is missing. If you want, you can write enable is port 4 28th pin. Okay, sorry, port to 8th pin. See here, port to 8th pin is enable. So if this pin is 0, irrespective of whatever you give here, 0 or 1 or 1 or 0, DC motor is not enabled, no, so it will not rotate. So it is not going to respond for any of the combination of these two inputs. Now enable this pin, port to 8th pin, and now you give 28th pin as 1 and 29th pin as 0. So it will rotate anti-clockwise or clockwise. You check it out. Okay, actually whatever printed, I think sometimes some printing error will be there, so you can check. Okay, if it is rotating clockwise, just reverse it. Okay, this one is 0, this is going to 1, so it will rotate clockwise. So two possibilities, one should be 1, another end should be 0. Here this is 0, this is 1. For both it will rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now if you give both ends are 1 1, it will stop, and both ends are 0 also, it is going to stop. So what configuration you have to do? So algorithm is what? First you have to configure these pins, port 4 28 and 29 and port 2 8 pin as output. After that we have to write a program to set this particular pin and clear this pin. After that, for anti-clockwise, clear this pin and set this pin. So this is about a DC motor. It has two windings, so two terminals are positive and negative. Okay, so now let us go to the program. Interface and control DC motor, and you have to first you have to rotate the stepper DC motor in anti-clockwise direction. So first line include LPC17xx.h header file. So xx means 17 series. Okay, so actually we are using xs value 68, 1768 we are using. So in general the full series 17 series full header file is actually included here. Int main open bracket close bracket open bracket now. Then LPC underscore GPIO2. Okay, so port 2 8th pin we have to configure as output. So GPIO, this is O, not 0. GPIO port number 2 8th pin we are making 1. So that means we are configuring port 2 8th pin as output. Next port 4 28th pin and 29, both pin you have to configure as output. Both pin you have to configure as output. So one left shift by 28, one left shift by 29. and this is logical OR operation, vertical line pipe. So this is logical OR operation. So if you take binary form of 1 and left shift by 28, exactly 28 bit become 1. Similarly, take 32-bit format of 1 and left shift by 29, exactly 29 become 1. So and if you do OR operation of 32-bit of this and 32-bit of this, both 28-bit and 29-bit becomes 1. Okay. So this is port number 4, 28th and 29th pin. This is port number 2, 8th pin, and we are using direction FIO DIR to configure it as output. So 1 means output, 0 means input. So after that, while 1 means 1 is always true. So this DC motor is going to run. Once you execute run this program, motor will not stop because it is under while 1, always 1 means true. So for infinite time, the DC motor is actually running. So LPC underscore GPIO 2 dash, this is not underscore, dash greater than mark FIO set. We already configured as output here, port 2 8 pin as output pin. Now we are giving some value. We are actually setting port to 8th pin. Okay, port to 8th pin we are setting. So that is going to make port 2.8 is given with logic high value. So it is going to enable the pin. It is a active high. So once you give high value, it is going to enable. So after that, we have to set and clear these two pins. So which port? Port number 4. Port number 4, LPC underscore GPIO 0, DPIO 4 dash greater than mark FIO set. Set 28th pin of port 4 and clear 29th pin of 4 and say close bracket and close bracket, save the file, compile, build target. How to generate X file? So select options for target in the output to tab. You check create X file. At the same time, you can give the name of executable file. Right side one tab is there. There you can type DC motor, and after that click on build target. So it will generate DC motor.x file, and after that using flash utility program you can download, select which component is selected. You have to check it out using device manager. So by checking all, and if you download, you browse where your X file is created. So once again I will tell you. So normally when you create a project in your folder, suppose you are creating a project in the D drive, okay. So once you build target, the X file is going to generate in the subfolder. So in your folder, 4 different folders will be there. One is actually the objects folder. So in that object folder, X file will be there. So you have to browse that and select it and check erase previous program in the flash utility and click start programming. So after that, connect DC motor and you can observe DC motor is running in clockwise. For anti-clockwise, just reverse this one. So in the previous one, 28th is set and 29th is clear. Okay, now 28th is cleared, 29th is set. So again, once you modify the program, once again you have to build target. After modifying program, once again you have to build target. Otherwise, old X file only, it is going to load once again. So modified program will generate one more time X file. If you want, you can give one more output name as DC motor anti-clockwise or clockwise, anything you can give. DC motor CC or RCW you can write. For anti-clockwise AC, like that you can write. So and you have to browse the new X file and dump, program it. Now you can observe DC motor is going to rotate in clockwise direction. So you can check another video to check the output of a DC motor for clockwise and anti-clockwise. Okay, so this is about DC motor.